congratulations. It's going to be fantastic to see you in a seat this weekend. I actually want to go back a couple of weeks if we can. You went into the car to do some testing, I believe tyre testing in Red Bull at Silverstone. And for many people, they assume that was the game changer. Daniel, can you tell me what it was like to get in the seat and tell me how well that went and how quickly it came back to you?
Firstly, thanks for having me back. Appreciate it. It kind of gave me everything I wanted to feel again. I hadn't driven since the last race of last season, so it was about 8 months. And I was very curious. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to feel a little rusty, but I'd also been doing a lot of sim work, and so I'd kept my eye in, but hadn't driven, the physical car. And I got in, and it felt all like normal and natural again, and it went really well. And I think that was like the last box that needed to be ticked to kind of confirm the comeback.
Just so I have a decent idea, Daniel, what kind of lap times were you putting in, and how long did it take to put those kind of lap times in? Did it take 5, 6, 7, 8 laps? What were you putting in?
It was, it went well. It went well. So so the very first lap I did, I was like, oh, this feels fast. I haven't driven this fast in a long time. So, it's nearly like your brain and your like eyes need to readjust just to the speeds and everything, let alone like your body, the physical forces. So like the first lap in a way felt like a bit of a shock to the body. And then, but from that point, I quickly got back into it. Like it all felt normal again. So I did one run just to get my eye in. So that was about 6 laps or something. And then the next run, we put on some new tires. And that's when the first lap, I was pretty much down to the pace.
Well, I hear it's better than that, Daniel. I hear it's better than that. What I've heard is that actually it would have put you at the front of the grid at Silverstone on race day. Is that right?
Yeah, it was good enough for a front row. So
that's amazing.
I was like, look, I obviously like believe a lot in my ability, but I know that being out of a seat for a while, like there's going to be a few cobwebs to kind of dust off. I didn't expect for it to go that good. So I was like, I was grinning from ear to ear.
Daniel, I ponied up $120,000 last week for the simulator, which is somewhat almost like what you, Max Verstappen, and others do. We see it on the Netflix movies. You guys are in the simulators wasting time from photo shoot to photo shoot. Explain what a simulator can't do. I'm fascinated by your leap from simulators to Budapest, which some people say is Monaco without barriers. What's the jump from simulator to actually doing it?
I mean, it's still a legitimate jump. I think the simulators now are very good. Like the teams purpose build them. These aren't simulators that you can have at your home. They are beyond next level. So they feel like you can kind of get. I mean, what I'd probably say it feels like maybe 80%. 85% of the real thing. So it gives you enough of a feeling and enough of an idea. So it definitely helped me get up to speed. But, there's no like physical aspect of the simulator. You don't get the G-forces and that's
the side forces, John.
So there's a lot that's still, like tire management, all that sort of stuff is then that's all on track, real stuff that I have ahead of me, obviously now this weekend. So it's prepped me, but I've still got a few things to get on top of.
Well, let's talk about this weekend and beyond. So you're obviously going from a team as a reserve driver, Red Bull, at the top of the pack, top of the standings, to a team at the bottom of the standings at AlphaTauri. It's back to your Toro Rosso roots. You know how to get it done in a slower car. So talk to me about how you're going to define success, not just for this weekend, but for the rest of the season.
I mean, it's really, I think, as you said, like the car I drove last week was the best car on the grid. So in a way, part of me needs to like remove that feeling. But getting into that car last week, I just kind of jumped in. I was like, let's just see how it goes. Let's just drive. use my ability, have fun with it. And, that's the approach now. I think, it's so easy to overcomplicate it. Yes, this team is having a difficult season. There's going to be some things we're going to have to work on, but I think the approach for me needs to be just go out there, drive it, and then we go from work on its weaknesses. And I think I just need to focus on getting the best out of myself first.
Daniel, I noticed at Silverstone that like Lando Norris is getting all the love. I mean, Florence Pugh wants to hang out with Lando, not Daniel. I get it. I mean, there's no question about this. You have been through the ups and downs of this. John mentions Budapest, and I think Austin's out there somewhere as well. Is this a sequential process you have to get back into it? Or is this something you can figure out and practice to tomorrow, nail in the qualies, and get something done on Saturday?
I mean, I would say realistically, it's a bit of a process. I can't probably expect everything to fall into place on the first weekend, but let's see what happens.
Daniel, I've never seen you this modest in my life. I've never seen you this modest in my life. Let's finish on this. Hopes and dreams. I know you've got many. Have you got your eye on that second seat at Red Bull? Not for next year, but the year after that.
I mean, that is where I would love to get to. And this for me it's an opportunity for sure, back in the sport, back in the Red Bull family. And I know if I can capitalize on this, it could potentially lead to that. So this is all part of it.